So today I want to tilt towards more the faith side of things. I don't know. I feel like this YouTube channel is going to be all over the place because I do not have a particular niche. I want to talk about my lifestyle. My lifestyle involves my business, what I do, the way I live, and my faith. You know, everything joined together. So it's gonna be all over the place. I hope at least you enjoy as we find ourselves together on this journey. This video is inspired by a question that I saw online, and if I see the question again, I will put it up on the screen so that you all can look at it. So the question is, if you do not get married, what is your backup plan? I think that marriage is something that aside from the individual that wants to get married, desiring marriage, or the Bible saying that marriage is good, marriage is also something that society tends to want to see you do. I don't know how it started, funny enough, and now I'm realizing I should have done a little bit more research on this before I spoke about it, but I do not know. I think marriage has always been an honorable thing. It might actually be exactly the same amount of societal pressure, but social media has kind of amplified it because we can now see everything happening seemingly at the same time. So that's why some people would, like in December of last year, I remember a lot of people were like, how many people are getting married this year? It's not like the number is increasing. It's more like you can now see a lot of weddings. Before social media, the only thing that would make you know that a wedding is happening on this particular day is when you see the tents, when you see the car that has been decorated pass you by on the street, or you know, when you see a church and you see the wedding thing photo that is outside, like in front of the venue. Those are the kind of things that would have let you know that okay, wedding is happening here. But because social media is now in the palm of your hands, it's like everywhere you scroll, you see a wedding. So that also builds the pressure that society builds. And to be honest, I wouldn't say personally that I have felt a lot of pressure. I cannot say that actually, because that's not really true. If I say that, I would be lying, because the people around me that are important to me, my family, don't pressure people. They really don't. However, from people outside of my home, I don't consider what they do pressure. I just consider it nosiness. I'm a boy, aproko, busybody, whatever word they call it, wherever you're from. That's what I consider it. I have thick skin, I guess. Peer pressure doesn't really get to me. It shows even in the movies that I watch, for instance. The time Squid Game was running, a lot of people rushed to watch Squid Game just because of the hype. I didn't. As I am down, I've still not watched it. There's no amount of marital hype, like hyping the marriage, that's gonna make me just rush into it. Do you understand? And that's because of a few things that I picked up in my life, my understanding of life, because of a few things that I have learned, which I will share, which is the whole point of this video. The idea that is put in your head from when you are little is that you go to school, you finish school, maybe you serve, maybe you get a master's degree, you work, and then you get married. That's supposed to be the progression, right? So at least that's the progression that was put in my head when I was little. So most of the time I didn't feel any of those like societal pressure until I came back from service. I came back from service, and I remember first day I stepped into church, somebody asked me if I came back from Yoruba land with a Yoruba husband. At least ask me, how was your journey? So society does that, but it's not like they really, really care about you. That's not why they're doing that. The idea that you would have a backup plan means that that was what you were putting your hope on. I do not live my life thinking that once I get married, everything is over for me. I also do not live my life thinking that once I get married, my life starts. In life, everybody has a distinct purpose. Every man, every woman has a purpose. You have something that you were created for. God did not create you without a purpose. You have something to fulfill in this life, right? I don't think it is right to wait till you get married. And I think that this probably applies more to females than to males. Sorry to say, but it does. I think the men technically get stuff going on their own before they get married. The women tend to wait till they get married. Don't say, I'm not going to start this business until I get married, or I'm not going to buy that car until I get married, or stifling yourself. You're putting yourself in a box. Allow yourself to grow. Let the man meet you as you are growing, so that you yourself have an idea of who you are, what you want to do, what you like. Those things can evolve. They change over time, yes. But in the beginning, having an idea of who you are, what you want to become, or what you think your purpose is very, very great, because that is how you would end up with the right person. That is the road to ending up with the right person. If you know that your part of your calling in life is to help children, you want to be who helped children in the past, like Mary Slessor, for instance, you would not be with somebody who doesn't believe in that calling that you have, right? And if you haven't found that out before you are married, you can marry just anybody and then end up being stifled, even when you think, okay, this is my calling, because you are meant to submit to your husband. He tells you no, and then you keep quiet and you sit down because you're being an obedient and submissive wife. Whereas if you had started it before you had gotten married, it would be easy to see the man and say, okay, he doesn't tie in with my purpose in life. He doesn't tie in with what it is that I want to do, or where it is I see myself going. So this is a no. I try to live my life like Jesus is coming tomorrow. I don't want to have to be asked, I put this gift in your hand, what did you do with it? And then I say, oh, my father, I was waiting to be married. I know that I have the privilege of not seeing marriage as a way to alleviate my suffering. I call it a privilege because not everybody is privileged to be as comfortable as I am. I'm privileged to have gone to certain schools that afforded me the contacts, the network that I have today. So I can never understand the plight of somebody who needs to get married because they need somebody that can provide for them. I've built my character not to depend on social media or society to decide what I'm going to do. The only thing that decides what I'm going to do is the Bible. And just develop thick skin, I beg. I don't know what to say.